Hello there, this is Virendra Singh Rana. I'm making this video as a part of my job application for the post of Chief Sustainability Officer. Through this video, I'm going to share my understanding about the requirement of being successful in this role, apart from what is there recited in the job description. And I sincerely hope that this knowledge of mine will step me aside from the other applicants. I believe that Chief Sustainability Officer should plant himself as close as possible to the corporate areas where sustainability can produce value for the company. Initially, officers need to work with the company officials who oversee the compliance and issues. They should get a place in the executive team of the company because I feel that mere presence of him keeps the sustainability in the agenda of every discussion, whether it is about the innovation of the product or the operations, or whether it is about managing and building the workforce of the team, or it could be anything. Chief Sustainability Officer should have their fingers on the pulse of company's culture, understanding what actually motivates the employees and devising a strategy for implementing the change that aligns with the workforce. If you come up with the strategy and the workforce is not going to buy it, trust me, you're gonna have a very tough time implementing that strategy. It has to be compatible with what employees are expecting, the skill set they have, and what are their aspirations. Earlier, it was said that if you do the things right, it will come at the cost of the firm. But I strongly believe that if you do the things strategically, you can create a significant value for the firm. Chief Sustainability Officer is the best position to change this perception, but he needs to have enough data, a strong business plan to communicate with, and the willingness and the faith of the people working over there. I also believe that approaching sustainability should be evolutionary and not the revolutionary. We must understand that we can't transform everything at the once. Hence, officer needs to have a calm, composed and patient personality. The hardest thing about the leading this change is managing the complexity and diversity which is present there in the workforce and in the system as well. I strongly believe the fact that leadership of this sustainability journey of this firm should be in ethical hands. Now, for being ethical leader for this role, being just an ethical person is not enough. I admit that I must gain the reputation of being an ethical leader as well. CSO, that means Chief Sustainability Officer, must have the moral personal aspects like integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, and also some managerial aspects like that includes the leader's efforts to influence others ethically. He should be capable to become a role model for the employees of the company and constantly communicating the ethical and sustainable standards, and also implement the reward and punishment system to promote ethical behavior and sustainable thinking. Now, I strongly support the fact that leadership of this sustainability journey of the firm should be in the ethical hands. Now, for being an ethical leader, for this role, being just an ethical person is not enough. But I must get a reputation of being an ethical leader. CSO, that means Chief Sustainability Officer, must have the moral personal aspects like integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, and should also have some managerial aspects which includes the like leaders' efforts to influence the others to act ethically, to have a capability of becoming a role model for the employees of the company, and he should constantly communicating the ethical standards and even the sustainable standards, and he should have the authority to implement the reward and punishment system to promote the ethical behavior and sustainable thinking in the subordinates, as I believe that humanity begins at home. एडिट कर दे ऊपर कर एक पैरा बस ज़्यादा नीचे. Moreover, I strongly support the fact that leadership of this sustainability journey of this firm should be in the ethical hands. Now, for being ethical leader for this firm, being just an ethical person is not good enough. I need to have the reputation of being an ethical leader as well. Sustainability officer must have the moral personal aspects like integrity, honesty, trustworthiness, and should have also the managerial aspects, which includes the leader's efforts to influence others to act ethically. Officer should have an ability to become a role model for the employees of the company. He should consistently communicating the ethical and sustainable standards to the employees of the firm, and he should have an authority to implement the reward and punishment system to promote the ethical behavior and sustainable thinking in the subordinates. Because I strongly believe that humanity begins at home only. With increasing emphasis on the mission and vision statements, Chief Sustainability Officer should emphasize on incorporating the concept of sustainability into the DNA of these statements, which can make the environmental management part of their business quality process. Now, as more and more young people are entering into the workforce with the concept of green companies, ethical environment management and stuffs like that, this vision and mission statements accompanying the sustainability in their DNA will attract the youth with this mindset, and they themselves will prove that sustainability can be profitable by adoption of environmental and waste management system, which will result in the cost reduction and improvement in the overall profitability. The active engagement of the youth in sustainable development The active engagement of youth in sustainable development effort is central to achieving the sustainable. The active engagement of this youth in sustainable development effort is the central of achieving the sustainable, inclusive and stable society. Hence, inclusion of more and more youth people with such a mindset in the workforce can get a competitive advantage to the firm. Now, so far as the personal attributes for being a successful in this role are concerned, I would like to share few attributes about myself. That I have a diverse academic and professional background across various industries, which includes the non-profit and profit purposes. Moreover, I have gained a specialization in B Corp certification after working as an independent consultant and helping many firms in achieving the certification. But let me tell you, actually B Corporation is an organization who gives ratings to the participating companies for their sustainability activities. I think sustainability solutions normally require fundamentally new ways of thinking about the existing system and the processes. The creativity level in me will enable me to do so. I always think about the problem from square one. What is the need? What is the need I'm trying to address? Can it be addressed in a completely different way, as an innovation rather than being a trade-off, and things like that? Yeah, I consider myself as a change maker. I have the ability to lead the change. Like changing a company's business practices, whether it is regarding convincing your firm's operations department to handle the purchasing differently, or pushing the new matrices to your supply chain partners. This all requires the persistence, ingenuity and salesmanship, and the most importantly, the ability to understand the business models, not just reputational and bottom line efficiency benefits, but also how companies make the money of the sustainable products and services. That's really a big difference. No matter how passionate you are about the environmental issue, the key to the convincing business audience is the convincing them on the business terms. Okay, so that's all from my end. I hope you admire this presentation, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you for your personal interview. Thank you.